ran into a signature gatherer at the Trader Joe's the other day, and he was talking about the Barrio Logan community plan. He said that he told me that the Navy was going to leave if this was implemented. That, of course, wasn't true. But we see this all over. The Walmart Supercenter ban was thrown out. The marijuana rules was thrown out by referendum. The Barrio Logan plan is in jeopardy now. The affordable housing fee is probably going to get challenged. Why can't the city council put up something that stays intact?
Because there's people with a lot of special interest money that are funding those those campaigns.
That's easy.
The issue of Barrio Logan, and I challenge anybody to actually find a better solution than what the council actually approved. That took a lot of work. It took a lot of effort, and the way they're getting those signatures is by lying. They're lying to people. I just met with the Navy mayor today in my office. He did not mention this issue at all, which means it's not really a concern. Like people are saying that the Navy's going to leave, that we're going to lose 46,000 jobs, which I wish we had 46,000 jobs there. We don't. But the lies that are being spread is just. I just can't believe people would support.
Are they lying, Mr. Faulkner?
Well, I'm a different view than my friend and colleague David, but I'll tell you, when he and I disagree, you at least know where we stand, and we're going to tell you where we stand. On that, we had different views, and I voted against that plan. And the main reason I voted against it, Scott, is because it does not allow our suppliers to locate by right, not having to go through a conditional use permit. I think that's very important. There's a lot of elements, and I've talked to David about this in the plan, that were very, very good. But on this one, when it's so key to a large segment of our economy, good, middle-class jobs, that jobs are in jeopardy if we do not allow those suppliers to locate by right, which they always have, we need to change that.
Well, and I mean, Kevin, what I think all of us wish you would do is, because these are your supporters, get them back to the table. Get them back to the table and work them out. But what happens, because Scott's right, because the threshold is too low and it's too easy, if you have enough money, you can do a referendum on anything. And I think the next mayor, we should have a conversation about making it harder to put things on the ballot, because what happens is if you have enough money, then you don't have to negotiate. You don't have to negotiate. You just say you do whatever I want, or if you don't do what I want, I'll put it on the ballot and I'll undo it. And I thought it was wrong when that approach came on the marijuana dispensaries, and I think it's wrong in this case. It's hard enough for folks to get stuff through without being held hostage, and I think we should have a real conversation about whether we elect people on the council to do their job, and then if you don't like the job they do, you can elect new people who can change it. Or if we want to constantly live in threat of this, and I don't know that you completely undo it, but I think that we could make the threshold higher, and I think we can make it harder.
My mind? Because that's what people say. I mean, we need, if there's no leadership on the city council to do some kind of law, maybe pension reform or something, then you need the opportunity.
Well, you're talking about two different things.
Right,
you're talking about an initiative versus a referendum. A referendum is where you undo something that the council already did.
I know, you got me, I'm sorry.
And that's because I'm a political science professor. I'm a political science professor. Although with the jacket, you would fit right in there.
But Nathan, as a professor, I'm having a hard time understanding your logic, because what you're saying is this. You're saying that rich people are not going to be able to put things on the ballot using referendum or initiative because you're going to make it harder for them? Because the only thing that'll do is make it harder for the people that don't have the money. The rich people, you're not going to be able to raise the standards so high that they're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, but the people that don't have it now don't have a voice. I mean, look at these things time and again. What happens is the council gets close, but if you are a participant to those negotiations, you don't even need to participate.
May I say one thing?
You don't need to make reasonable compromise. You can just say, well, you do what I want, or I will collect signatures.
You just have unreasonable people who oppose what the council did.
Hey, Nathan?
Right. Which, that's what happened with the medical marijuana ordinance, I think.
They were unreasonable?
You ask them now, and I think they want that one back. They'd support the ordinance that the council passed.
Really?
Yes. You talk about the Barrio Logan plan update. I think it's unreasonable, and if you spend any significant amount of time actually studying that issue, you'd realize that everybody can stay where they are, the suppliers can continue to exist, there's actually growth south of 32nd Street. If you actually spend some time in the community, you can understand that.
Just a sec, I want to ask Faulkner one thing.
Aguirre.
Yeah, no, I'm holding him. Okay, I'm putting my thing.
Okay.
So he proposed raising the threshold required to put up a referendum on to get the signatures to referendum.
I think the process works now, the democratic process that allows people to if they have a problem with it, to go out and work it. Yeah, that's important.
Okay.
May I say
so
this?
Leave it.
Okay,
no,
Nathan, I want to say something to you. You have recently joined the Democratic Party.
Yes.
And I want to, as a lifelong Democrat, give you a short exercise, a short education on, as a Democrat, we do not come out in favor of doing away with the direct democracy rights of the people. That is a very important lesson.
And?
That's what you, hold on, that's what
And?
you Republicans, that's what our friends in the Republican Party do. Or the people in the legislature who don't like to have the initiative and the referendum do. But we Democrats, especially when we're grassroots, working for the little guy, we stay in support of direct
And
democracy.
Is that true of the
hold on,
Democrats
and-
out there?
No, no, it's not. But, and I would like to let Mike know, not
Voice of the
as a history professor, that the author of Direct Democracy in California was Hiram Johnson, who was a
It was
Republican.
Hiram Johnson. He was
Was a Republican, just in
progressive
fairness to
Republican,
history.
progressive Republican who supported FDR.
Do you think the referendum threshold should be higher?
You know, I don't think so. I think Mike is right that, you know, the little
Put it there,
people-
bro. Thank you very much.
The little people need to have a chance. But you also asked about the fee, what we passed yesterday. I mean, the opponents did not have any real solution. They were just saying no. And so that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes people are just, if they have enough money and they don't like something, they're going to be able to put it on a referendum and potentially overturn.